This is Barry from SEGAbits, and we were at the Sonic the Hedgehog 25th anniversary party. We saw the reveal of Sonic Mania, and moments later we were able to get our hands on it. Well, maybe not moments, there was a bit of a line. But what we really loved were not only the game itself, which plays basically one-to-one with the original Sega Genesis Mega Drive classics, but also all of the really cool references and Easter eggs. So without further ado, here's all the references and Easter eggs that we spotted during our hands-on playthrough. At the very end of a level, when you completed it, Sonic does a little jump in the air. This is actually a callback to an unused sprite from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and when Sonic lands, he strikes a pose that's very similar to some very early concept art drawings. In Studiopolis Zone, you'll notice that the lamps have these interesting UFO kind of shapes that spin around. These are actually based on the UFOs from a very early build of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 during the Marble Zone level, in which there would be UFOs in the sky. However, these didn't make it into the final game, though during the 2013 release of Taxman's Sonic the Hedgehog 1, which released to iOS and Android, he included the original UFO, or at least a remake of it, in the debug mode. And since then, they've repurposed it as a light fixture in Studiopolis. Remember during Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in Springyard Zone when you'd see the weird lettering "Cope Up" on CPU? Well, those make a return in Studiopolis Zone on a subway car that drives by in the background as graffiti art, in which you can see Cope and CPU. Sonic Retro's own Bartman was playing through the game at the event, and during the Sonic Mania version of Green Hill Act 1, Bartman noticed that there was a mysterious ring floating inside of a structure. Unfortunately, he had trouble getting to it. That is until at the very top of the structure there was a rock that he pushed away and he fell through. It's very possible that this ring is very similar to the special stage entrances from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. However, in the demo version, even after collecting more than 50 rings, nothing happened, so it appears that Taxman and Stealth and the rest of the team turned this feature off. Studiopolis Zone also features several references to various Sega and Sonic games. Probably the most obscure is a reference to Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop, which was a 1993 vending machine that dispensed popcorn in one of three flavors: salted, butter, or curry. Not only did you get actual edible popcorn from the machine, but you could play a little mini-game, which had the player turning a green crank to help Tails get kernels into a fire while Sonic waves his finger at you. However, the popcorn was dispensed whether you turned the crank or not, so really it was an optional game. In late 2015, the ROM for Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop was released to the internet, which probably explains the reference existing in this game to begin with, because it was at the forefront of the developers' minds. There are also several screens featuring a dancing 1920s-era animated Eggman. Studiopolis Zone features a store with a neon sign that reads Pink Bot. This is actually a reference to the first stage of Streets of Rage, which also featured a very similar neon sign which read Pine Pot. Keeping with the television and movie studio theme, Studiopolis features several vans that read Hornet on the side and High Class at the top. This is a reference to Sega's 3D racing classic Daytona USA, which features the iconic Hornet car, which also features High Class on the back. Upon entering the Hornet, Sonic becomes a beam of information shot from a satellite dish atop the van. After bouncing between a few satellite dishes, Sonic enters a TV. The TV set sports a logo that's very similar to the Sega Game Gear logo. In the background of Studiopolis, you'll see many neon signs that read Club Spin Ages. This is a reference to the real-life Japanese Sega arcades, which are called Club Sega. And of course, Sega backwards is ages. I mean, do I have to spell that out for you? Studiopolis also features several funny Dr. Eggman references in the backgrounds, including Egg TV, Eggnog, and an Eggman director's chair that you can ride up and down on. The Sega Sonic Popcorn Machine even features the same EG logo that is found also in Sonic the Hedgehog 2's Sky Fortress Zone. At one point in Studiopolis Zone, Sonic jumps off of a clapperboard which reads Studiopolis Act 1. In the minutes and seconds, they actually match the time that you have spent in the stage, and below that it reads Sega, CW, HC, PWG. These of course stand for Christian Whitehead, Headcanon, and Pagoda West Games. who are the developers of Sonic Mania. Like the zone itself, the enemies in Studiopolis carry forward the movie theme, including a flying bug-like photo camera that acts a lot like Sonic the Hedgehog 2's Mystic Cave Zone flasher enemies. There's a new Orbonaut enemy with rotating orbs of various colored studio lights. Microphone-shaped enemies drop down to attack Sonic, and there's a wall-clinging enemy that shoots out splices of film. The Sonic Mania title screen features an island on the bottom rotating around, which is actually Sonic the Hedgehog's head. It's not that difficult to miss. That covers all the Sonic Mania references and Easter eggs that we spotted. Are there any that we missed? Sound off in the comments below. For more SEGAbits Sonic Mania coverage, check out our hands-on impressions and our impressions of the Sonic 25th anniversary event.